to episode 100 of our Family Travel Australia series. This week we set up camp at 3 of the Northern Territory's most iconic destinations. Our first stop, Karlu, the fascinating landscape of Devil's Marbles, for an overnight stay within the Conservation Reserve. Then we're off to Daly Waters for the most unique and happening outback pub experience we've ever had. With its tropical temperatures, flowing drinks and jumping vibe, this is one place you don't want to miss. And finally, we soak up the natural wonders of Mataranka, famous for its thermal pools and beautiful bitter springs, before we celebrate Christmas in July, caravan style. Be sure to subscribe and join us for all of the adventure.
Welcome to episode 100!
Yes, thank you for being a part of our feel-good family adventure. Can you believe it? For the last 100 weeks.
We just love this caravan and camping community, the people we have met, the friends we've made on the road, the amazing destinations and experiences. Thank you for coming on the journey with us.
We can't wait to share more of Australia with you. The world's best backyard. Woohoo!
Going Tropo. That sounds like my family.
We're in Rockhampton.
There it is.
And we're on the Tropic of Capricorn.
Hey, here we are.
Woohoo!
Tropic of get lost.
All right, shall we have the Tropic Capricorn dance?
Yeah.
We're going Tropo, let's do it. Okay. Oh look, that's exactly what aliens look like. That's how I remember them.
Hello. Hey Dad, look.
Ooh, we're strangers from an outside world. Welcome to planet Earth. Greetings, alien. Okay, we better pay our fees.
Mum and Dad are $4 and I'm free.
How come you're free?
Because I just am.
That doesn't seem fair. You're going to use up as much space as I am. Why do you get to be free?
Because I am.
What is it? Is it because of your height?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I think it's kids under 5 and I'm under 5 because I'm 4. 4, 5.
There you go. That's actually the truth. So, family fees are 2 adults and 4 kids. That sounds like a handful, doesn't it? And that's only $10. what would that make it? Kids, each kid 50 cents each. Children 5 to 17 are $2 each. So there you go, you can work that out pretty good. We just met the fellow campers next door, and they said that by 2 p.m. it is absolutely full, which I think it is almost there now. And then through the afternoon, another 20 vehicles and vans rock in, and they all basically get turned away. So it is pretty chockers now. We're glad that we left Alice Springs nice and early to get here, because early bird gets the worm. We've said it before, and we're actually one of the last ones here. Check this out. Welcome to Karlu. It's a conservation reserve, better known as Devil's Marbles. What a unique landscape this place is.
It is so beautiful here, and the campground is literally set amongst the marbles themselves, which is just awesome. You feel like you can reach out of your van and actually touch them.
Yeah.
What's great is that there are a number of walks that you can do in and amongst the marbles themselves. Very easy. The first one is about 800 meters. Really easy, family friendly walk to do, and it takes you within the marbles themselves, and there is a lookout area, an elevated section, and it's not until you're standing up there that you get such an appreciation for just how vast this landscape is and how many marbles there actually are.
Yeah, that's right. There are a couple of areas. It's a significant cultural place. There's been Aboriginal people meeting here for thousands and thousands of years. So they ask that you respect their culture and don't photograph one small part of the actual boulders themselves, and also that you can't climb these boulders in certain areas. But as you said, to get up onto that lookout and actually take in this vastness of how far these boulders are actually placed out around the landscape is fantastic. A good point here, as easy as this walk is, it is slippery in places. Jasper did have a little bit of a stack.
Yeah.
He was chugging around like a train, and he slipped over, but he's all good. So yeah, so just be aware of that. But otherwise, really beautiful, easy walk.
And very accessible right here. There is a couple of other walks that you can do. Another one that's about 4 kilometres that sort of takes you off in the opposite direction, and one that actually goes all around the campsite here in the day use area as well. The campsite itself, so good. Operated through national parks in conjunction with the traditional owners. $4 per adult per night. I mean, really, just crazy. Jasper being 4, of course, is free.
Something that we'll mention though, a really hot tip, is to make sure that you do come in here early. At least get here by 1 p.m. Otherwise, as we saw, a dozen other vans come in and have to drive back out. And I think after a long day driving and you got to that point, it wouldn't be a happy car, would it?
No, definitely get here early. That's an excellent tip. There's some great facilities. There are some toilets down the other end. There are a number of undercover areas set up with picnic tables, and even fire pits that with the cooking grills, so that you can, cook over them. So they've done a really great job, and the signage is fantastic.
Northern Territory has blown us away in this regard.
Yeah.
We feel that it has been the best that we have seen to date. The storytelling is fantastic. These granite boulders were, I guess, in their infancy and commenced their formation 1,700 million years ago.
I didn't even know how to quantify that in my head.
It's quite amazing. And then really just through erosion on the rounding of the edges has formed these massive granite boulders perched on top of each other. Really, really worth a look, and really perfect just to stay overnight.
Yes, it makes a great stopover point if you are travelling from Alice like we are heading north.
Yep, and that's our next step of the adventure today. We will be heading 200 kilometres north, hoping to stay at a wonderful place called Banka. We'll see, we haven't got a booking. Good morning, Jasperini. What a beautiful morning it is. We've just left the most unique outback pub stay that we have experienced today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh my
Daly
gosh.
Waters.
Incredible. If you've been there, you know exactly what we're talking about, and it's probably high on your list to return as well. Okay, we left Devil's Marbles. We were traveling 200 kilometers up the road to Banka. We had really great driving conditions. It wasn't very busy. Jasper was singing up a storm in the back, weren't you, mate? So we just kept driving, and 500 plus kilometers later, we ended up at the Daly Waters pub for, just an incredible couple of nights.
Yeah, well, that's a great point, Paul. We actually, because we kept driving, we gave ourselves an extra night there, which was so good. And if you can afford 2 nights there, definitely do it. Because not only, of course, do you get to experience what it is so famous for, which is the pub itself and all of the craziness that surrounds it, but you get to see the ebb and flow of the vans and the vehicles that come in. It's just this continuous cycle.
It's a really well-oiled machine. As far as our experiences today at staying behind pubs or having that pub stay experience, they are basically, I reckon they've got a license to print cash there, because they are just turning people over and over, but you don't feel like that. You still feel like you're getting looked after. The staff are friendly. Tim, the proprietor, getting around in his little buggy, and he's a large man with a very large personality, and he did something we haven't seen before, where just before the meals, which they're famous for, the beef and barra outback barbecue, he addressed everyone and said, I just want to welcome you to my family's place. You know, I hope that you guys put up with me during your time when I was getting you in and around the park today, because they literally just squeeze everyone in. And then he introduces a horse.
Yes, Polly. How beautiful was Polly, Jasper?
Hey, Tim.
How you going, Tiger?
Good.
All right.
Hello, Polly.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daly Waters. I'm Tim Carter. On behalf of my family and staff, I'd like to welcome you all.
And Polly just roams around. She's just a free-ranging horse. There's a free-ranging goat as well.
A free-ranging dog.
A free-ranging
yes, of course.
dog, yes.
It's really eclectic. I mean, you see hats and bras and undies and things hung in roofs of pubs. This takes it to the next level. It really is. I mean, if you know of a pub experience like this that rivals this, then let us know, because we want to go.
What I loved about this is that it is so much more than just the pub itself, and the pub is fantastic. The meals that we had were awesome. We did the beef and barra, obviously the barra, and their beautiful salads. We had breakfast, and that was awesome.
It's really large, so it meant we missed lunch, because you literally could probably order one of their omelette meals and then just share it.
I reckon
we probably should have done that.
So the meals were great. The beer garden atmosphere was fantastic.
Buzz, absolutely buzzing.
Live music last night when we went for dinner.
What was your favourite part, Jasper?
My favourite part was actually getting to hear those songs.
Yes. Do you remember the name of the couple that was singing?
Yes. Their name was
Lou
Lou
and
Phil.
yes,
and Phil.
from Nimbin.
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen them if you've been in this high season over winter. They are not just a duo; they are a show.
Fantastic.
Well
It's
done,
so
you
good
guys.
to
Awesome.
get up and have a dance and have some fun and catch up with some friends who we've met on the road
That was
and
cool.
share a meal as well. But then there's so much more outside of the pub.
It's absolutely more than a pub. Across the road is Tim's junkyard, and Tim has the most incredible collection of memorabilia, vehicle memorabilia, an incredible collection of Indian motorcycles, old Holdens, stretched vehicles, V-dubs. Look, amazing. And it's just a couple of dollar donation, I think, to get through there. They have introduced a heritage walk. A lot of people don't know this, but the actual aerodrome is the site of the original Qantas hangar. It is the first international airport in Australia back in the 1930s, which is when the pub was established as well. I mean, who knew?
Oh, amazing history. A lot of World War II history in this area as well. And of course, John McDowell Stewart, who is the man who, explored this area in the 1860s and named Daly waters. So there's a lot of significant history around his exploration as well.
You can even see a tree that he graffitied back in 1860 with his initials. Stewart was here.
Something like that anyway. Back to the pub though. Awesome pool. Jasper blobbed around in the pool for like an hour the other day. I had to get him out because he was all wrinkly. But that was such a welcome relief in this weather. So we've gone from freezing our butts off at Alice and Uluru and Kings Canyon, and we come up here, it's like 34 degrees. It feels tropical. Just awesome.
Absolutely love it. And we're up early this morning, and probably to a very few people who don't have headaches this morning. It was a jumping vibe. So much fun. I mean, 4 hours, 3 different food service settings because of the amount of people that they have to serve. We were lucky enough to get into the 6:30 sitting, but then we didn't move. We just sat in front of the band and watched Jasper dance for 4 hours. It was awesome.
So good tips are arrive early. If you can, get in early so that you do get yourself, a great spot. There is ample room. They can take loads of vans, and there also is the free camp at the aerodrome if that's more your style.
We saw half a dozen vans out there this morning when we went to check out the old hangar.
Another really good tip is, yes, there is service. We're with Telstra. There is Telstra service. However, I think it depends on the time of day and the amount of people that are online and using the bandwidth to how good and what sort of
it's a bit sketchy.
Internet you're going to get.
Look, you do get some, and earlier mornings and that sort of late afternoon seems to be little windows.
Definitely. The other tip is book in if you want to experience their beef and barra dinner. Definitely book in early for that so that you can secure your spot and get over to the beer garden early and enjoy the happy hours, because it fills up and you want to secure a table.
It is like I hope this paints the right picture. The Bali of the bush. That's how I would put it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like that. Everybody's very well behaved, though, I have to say. So that's maybe a slight difference between.
There's
Aussies
drinking in the
Bali.
streets. There's, the drinks are flowing. Let's put it that way. And
Yeah.
everyone's in thongs and tank tops. So it's got that vibe about it, but really friendly, and everyone was having a great time. Yeah,
We loved it.
We would definitely revisit there and stay another couple of nights just for the atmosphere and the experience. Okay, we are on the way on a short drive morning to Mataranka.
Oh, I am so excited about this. This has been high on the list of must-dos. Oh, so good. Bring
All right.
on those thermal hot springs.
You're going to be jumping in the hot spring, Jasper?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're ready to do it? Okay. Bye.
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 Enough of that. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action! Good morning, everyone!
Good morning.
Excited this
There's
morning,
definitely some
Jasper.
excitement in the tone and in the air because we have arrived at
We have arrived at
Mataranka.
We sure have, and we are loving the Mataranka temperature.
So good. Now, you've probably noticed over my shoulder there's someone different. Who is that?
introducing Chef Flip!
Yes,
Uncle
Uncle Jeff.
Jeff.
How exciting is this? It's a year ago that we saw you, Jeff, and that was to enjoy Christmas in July over there at Byfield National Park, just outside of Rockhampton. It was awesome. And now, a year later, we're getting to do it again.
So good.
And guess what?
What?
I first started when I was a brand new baby. I first met Uncle Jeff.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is
yeah,
so right,
It was at a
mate.
very young age,
Yep.
wasn't it?
One
Yes.
day old.
1 day old.
So it's pretty exciting. There's a good bond here, and we are obviously very excited to have Jeff for the next few days with us before he heads back to Queensland and we continue on up to Darwin.
Yes.
We're now going to go check out Bitter Springs.
Yes,
Awesome.
where we'll be floating down the river. Whee!
So good.
Floating, floating.
Can't wait. Bring on that. What is it? 34 degree temperature water? Yes.
Unbelievable. Elsey National Park. Let's go check this out.
Woo!
Mataranka in the top end of the Northern Territory. We have made it. We came for 2 nights. We've stayed for 4. I don't think we want to leave.
We do love it here, particularly the temperature.
Oh my gosh, it is so tropically warm. It is absolutely beautiful.
It sure is. And we're staying at the Territory Manor, which is a really fantastic park. And we chose this because Paul's brother Jeff has recently come through Mataranka and was able to scope out all of the different van parks and accommodation options. And now that we're here, we are really thankful that we're here.
Yes, okay, so the real point of difference about this particular park is how much green lawn there is. I know that the on-site managers and the staff here are making a huge effort every day to really bring that to life from apparently what it used to be. Another really famous point for this particular park was the barramundi feeding, which used to happen in that huge pond behind us. Unfortunately, in the last wet season, a big salty got in, ate all of their barra, and yeah, they're not sure if he actually got out yet. So if you see a croc behind us, just scream out.
We are in the top end, babe.
Okay, this park really is what you'd expect in this kind of region. There are a number of powered sites and also ensuite sites. They are fairly close together, but we chose a powered site. It was $35 a night, and that was mainly because it is quite a well-treed area. And so for us needing that power through the solar, that's why we chose a power site. The actual unpowered sites is pretty well free roaming.
Yes, huge areas where you can basically pull up and pick your own spot, which is just awesome. And then as far as the grounds and the facilities go, they have all your usual amenities. There's a great laundry. There's a really lovely, very inviting pool.
It's actually very chilly, particularly once you've been to the springs, which are a constant 34 degrees Celsius. But at the end of a hot day, we're sort of getting in around 33, 34 degree temperatures each day by late afternoon. Yeah, it's worth a dip, that's for sure.
And then the cafe, bar, restaurant is fantastic as well. It looks out onto the beautiful green lawn. It's open air. There are some undercover areas as well. And the meals there are great.
Yeah, they also have live entertainment. Now, the 4 days we've been here, we've actually missed that. But that is a normal part of their offer here as well. And they also have their own beer on tap, which is worth a couple of schooners.
Absolutely. Now, one of the best parts about staying here is that you are literally just a few kilometres down the road from Bitter Springs, which we have absolutely fallen in love with. We have frequented every day for many hours each day. Just awesome.
Yeah, okay, so there's the Mataranka Springs, and there is actually a van site right adjoining that particular springs. We found that quite busy at the times of day that we went there. So for us, we've really loved Bitter Springs, and we are actually closer to it as well. There is also another van park right next to that particular car park and entry point, but we didn't feel it was quite as, I guess the grounds were quite as green and as lush as what they've been able to create here. And it's so close, you know, 2 kilometres, 3 kilometres, pretty easy. Once you get to the car park, even if it's busy, there's quite a good ebb and flow of people. So it didn't take long to get a car park. We never waited for a car park.
And we went at all different times of the day as well.
What is really great is that the actual walkway from the car park to Bitter Springs, the entry point into the springs itself, is only about 300 metres of a very wide, level, even cement path that really just winds its way through this subtropical environment. The beautiful towering palm trees really set the tone for what you're about to experience. Once you get to that area, you can just put your bags down. We didn't hear of any theft or any concern for your valuables. Obviously, if you don't need valuables, don't bring them. But yeah, we were able to just put our stuff down, feel very confident and safe and no worry or concern at all. That initial step into that 34 degree temperature is
Heavenly.
Yes, and it's the same response. Once you're in and you've experienced that and you watch people walk up for the first time and actually dip their toe in, it's that first initial, oh, I didn't expect it to be that warm, and then just like, Oh yeah. Yeah. This is me for the next couple of hours.
Yes, and that is literally what we have done each time we've gone. Now, we've been, as I said, all different times of the day.
Yeah, 4 different times.
We got up super early yesterday morning and headed down at 7 a.m. and it was chilly. It's still, the temperature is still getting down to
12 degrees Celsius in the morning.
Exactly. So much colder outside than it was inside the spring. And seeing the steam coming off the water because the outside temperature was so cold was just magical. And being literally the only ones there, bar a couple of other people, it was such a beautiful time to enjoy that environment and float down. The current, surprisingly, whilst it is slow, it is very steady.
Yeah, it's a fairly short distance, but you're winding your way through overarching palm trees and tea trees, and it's just beautiful with the palms all around the side of the water. The water is crystal clear.
It is amazing. You can see to the bottom, and as soon as the sun hits the water, reminiscent of Kilsby Sinkhole in Mount Gambier, it just lights up the underneath world. It is just, you have to come and experience it. It is so beautiful.
It is that beautiful. There is also a family of friendly fish that are residents in the water, but certainly nothing that could potentially eat you.
Well, not that
which
we
is
saw
good.
Anyway.
We are in croc country after all. Great tip that was given to us was to make sure that you go armed with your pool noodles.
Yes.
So we were able to pick up a few of those in Alice Springs at Kmart for like $2 each. There are some places here that sell them for $10, or you can hire them for that amount. So yeah, make sure you pick up your noodles before you get here. Another really great thing about the Territory Manor where we're staying is that they provide them to the guests free of charge.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, which is really great. One of the most exhilarating parts of this is getting to the very end of this lazy river, this spring.
Absolutely, and you've almost turned into a marshmallow floating down in that 34-degree water. Then you have to get out and you have to walk, the short 50 or so metres?
It wasn't quite a walk, I think it was a bit more of a jog.
Well, it was for us
Yeah.
at 7 a.m. the other morning when it was freezing outside. But you can walk back and then hop straight back into that beautiful warm water. Your brother Jeff said, this is the reward. You know, getting back into the water is the reward for freezing for that 50 metres as you run back to the other end.
I think the best advice we could give is to allow yourself 1.5, 2 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, and go at different times of the day. Go for sunrise. It was really beautiful.
Yep.
And then maybe later in the afternoon is when it's least busiest. But look, there was certainly plenty of room and plenty of space, and people we found were very respectful there. So that would be our choice of the springs in this area.
Yeah, awesome. Are we going to go again?
Yeah, I think we should. One of the other parts that I have loved about being here and also down in the springs themselves is that the bird life and those wildlife sounds are like something you'd expect to hear and feel in the Amazon.
Oh yes, the abundance of bird calls that start quite early in the morning, and you get to wake up to the sounds of nature. And then particularly as we were floating down Bitter Springs the other morning, as the steam was rising and the birds were calling, It was truly an awesome experience.
Yeah, you feel like you're actually in this lost jungle.
Yeah.
Okay, before we leave Bitter Springs and Mataranka, one of the hidden gems that we just by chance found was Yen's Green Corner. And it's located literally on the right hand side, about 250 meters as you exit Bitter Springs. There's a little sign, and this is an absolute must when you come here.
It is fantastic what Yen and her husband have created here on their property, all organic, and they have a little cafe that you can go and sit and feel as if you are almost in a tropical Asian paradise, and order up freshly made smoothies, homemade ice creams,
Creme brulee.
creme brulee.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Vietnamese iced coffee and a selection of beautiful organic teas. There is also beautiful fresh organic produce available to purchase from Yen's organic veggie garden. You can sit out on the lawn as we did a number of times and just enjoy this great environment. And now, as of the time of filming, Yen has only been open about 4 weeks, but we would absolutely recommend you stop in and grab yourself one of her beautiful homemade delights. Just awesome.
Her story's really great too. She's a naturalised Aussie from Vietnam. Her surname Nguyen should help give that away. Her enthusiasm and her passion about organics and the way she expresses what she does, and you know, even her branding says made with love. I tell you what, it is, and she is just a delight to meet and actually greet and be in the company of. So yeah, make sure you give Yen a visit.
Another thing with Yen's is that she does have a small number of accommodation rooms on site, as well as a smaller space for camping and caravans. And I think we would stay there next time we come back.
Oh, definitely. I think it was $25 for a van site, and you can actually get power, you can get water. She raved about her outdoor shower.
Yes, her bush
shower, so that sounds pretty cool. I think that going to Yen's, particularly after you've spent a couple of hours in Bitter Springs, really just adds so much value to the experience of this location.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, we are about to continue our journey northbound toward Darwin with an incredible stop at an amazing location called Edith Falls. But before we leave Mataranka, we wanted to share with you something that's become a little bit of a tradition, and that's with my younger brother Jeff. It was almost 12 months ago that we caught up with him and celebrated Christmas in July, and our paths have crossed again here. Wasn't that fantastic?
Oh, it's so good. I have 2 Christmasaholics, is that a word? That I live with. So any excuse to feel a little festive. The boys had a great time decorating outside under the awning. We cooked a damper on a stick and got to share some special presents with each other, and just a really lovely time with Jeff here as our paths crossed, as they do when you're on the road.
Yeah, it truly was a wonderful reconnection with brother Jeff. Who knows where we'll be next year for our Christmas in July then. It does make it better, doesn't it? Having 2 Christmases in a year. Love it.
Daddy's one of Daddy's favourites.
Thank you, Santa Jeff.
Poppy, Jasper, do you read me?
We're just going out walking firewood, and we found a perfect damper stick. Okay, bye. Love you.
Love you too, mate. See you soon. Over.
You're so beautiful. I love you, and you look pretty.
Thank you, baby. I love you too.
Oh, you're beautiful.
See you soon, honey.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share our channel. And if you'd like more information on full-time RV travel and living, visit our website, thefeelgoodfamily.com.au. There you'll find loads of free resources, our weekly podcast, caravan cooking recipes, our monthly Go RV magazine articles and much more. We look forward to seeing you next week. Take care of yourself and your family and happy trails. Welcome malians, femalians, kidalians. We love Daly waters. Is that what it says?
Yep, 2021. YouTube.
Okay, here we go. We got what we might do, Jasper. Let's see how we're going to do this, Katie. We might have to feed it through, will we? Look at that, we got a hat up. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Good. There we go.
We do love
Done.
We do love Daly waters.
Where are we going, co-pilot? Because I'm steering.
You just drop me out, just push me out the chopper at Mataranka, straight into a hot springs. Thanks.
Okay.
We'll see if any of the kids want to come up and feed Polly, eh?
Jasper.
All right, and just remember, she's still a horse. Don't go to the back of her. She's never kicked, but you don't want to end up in China. Right? Righto, thank you very much.
Go, Jasper. Does it smell good?
Yep. Yeah. Guess what's playing in my head 20 times the whole day?
Oh, what?
Gotta keep on pushing, mama. Long train running, if you've never heard
Oh my gosh, the Doobie Brothers. Should we go in the car and sing it? Let's do it.
Daddy's one of Daddy's favourites.
Thank you, Santa Jeff.
How awesome is that?
Thank you.
Thank you, babe.
Beautiful. We will very much enjoy this. This might help us create another small human. A baby in a bottle, I call this. Perfect. Okay, show me what you've done.
Hey, so go and look at our site number.
Well, that's a pretty impressive start.
That's from me. And I did all this stuff. And Uncle Jeff put the rest of that stuff on.
Wow, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Once the sun goes down, that is going to look fantastic, mate.